Same life.
Yes, yes. But it's actually, it's just a new mentality, but it's not a new you. You are an eternal fixed thing. So we have to know that, hopefully. So, oh, that's probably not good for you. Sorry, buddy. All right. So repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, that's not what I thought I was getting into. All right. Is it right after the Well, that is not what I thought. Well, I know how to do this. So I need to go to Google. Sorry. Just what was it? 15:8. Sorry about that. Try this now. Oh, yes. Okay. So, Happy New Year. What we're going to do is we're going to study Bhagavad Gita. This is a very nice, it's chapter 15, verse 8. This is a very nice verse. And it has to do with the New Year, New You type of mentality. So. But actually, Bhagavad Gita is teaching there's only one you, and that's the spirit, the soul, the thing that's animating your body. Like when you go and you drive your car, you get out of the car. You are not the car. Some people get very attached to their car, and if they have a little dent on their car, they're no, they could get sick over it even. If they're attached enough, or if they're attached enough to money and they lose some money, they're like, people can get really distressed and sick even over these things. So that's part of life. But actually, we're in this body, but we're not actually this body. My body used to look like this. Look at this body. I'm the same person as I was then. I'm the same exact spirit soul. I'm the same exact person in my family. I'm the same exact person, but my body is completely different. So that therefore actually should tell you that I am not that body. Because that body is completely different, but I am the same. I'm the same person. And similarly at death, you may get a new body, but again, that will not be your body. That's not your body. That's a temporary arrangement. Just like you're not that coat. You'll take off the coat. And the summertime will come, you'll take off the coat. You have no need for the coat. So, you can come down, no problem. We're doing our thing. So this is spiritual understanding. That we're a spirit soul. We're in a temporary body, but we're not this body. We have something more important than just worrying about the body and worrying about things of the body. Unfortunately, because of our ignorance, we don't at all focus on this thing. We don't at all focus on who I am as a spirit soul and what do spirit souls do? What should spirit souls do? But we're looking, there's three qualities of the spirit soul that everyone is looking for. The spirit soul is eternal. And it's full of eternal truth. Everyone is looking for stability in their life. Everyone wants something that never changes. You know, like when you get a beautiful relationship and everyone's in love, you want that to never change. But guess what? When you go through marriage over time, yes, it's difficult. There's ups and downs. Many changes are there. Everyone wants to get all kinds of money and then never lose the money. Always have the money. But you can't. Money goes up and down. It comes, it goes. The stock market goes up and down. The economy goes up and down. And some days you're feeling like you're on top of the world. You're making progress in your bank account. And then some days you're feeling, oh my gosh, I have no money. So this is what everyone wants. But why does everyone want this? Because actually you are that. You are eternal. This is why everyone wants things to be eternal, because you're eternal. But if you're looking for temporary things to be eternal, this is our ignorance. And this is our problem. We want our body to be young and beautiful forever. Like when it gets to about Madhav's age, 19, 20, or Satvik, how old are you?
24.
24 and 22. Gaurav, how old are you?
22.
22. Okay, everyone's so young. Very good. I'm 33. So now it's at the point of my life now where I'm saying, all right, wait, buddy, you should stop. It was pretty good in the 20s. It's a good situation in the 20s. You should stop. But the body will not stop aging. Even though I want it so hard, I'll do yoga, I'll eat healthy, I'll meditate, I'll breathe deeply. But eventually I'll age and die, and so will you. And so will he. You cannot stop. But we want it to always be the same. We want it to always be good. Everyone always wants to be young. But the elderly, they say the youth is wasted on the young. Because by the time they get so much wisdom in their elder years, the youth is gone. And they can't even use it properly. So why does everyone want an eternal situation? Because you're eternal. And that's one of the Bhagavad Gita 101. First time Krishna speaks, he's telling you you're an eternal spiritual soul. And then we could even show the verses, what he says if we have time. But that's 101. But then after that, you have to know, well, what is this world? What's really going on here? If I'm eternal, then what do eternal souls do? What am I supposed to do? If I'm having all kinds of problems just focusing on temporary material things and they can never make me happy, what can I do that will make me happy? And Krishna, he says, you have to exist in the state of yoga. And the state of yoga is when the soul is connected to the source of that soul. So what is that? Ultimately, when the soul is connected to God. And how deeply it's connected to God, there's different paths of yoga that teach that. The highest path is bhakti yoga. And so this is where Krishna is going. But he's going to talk a little bit here what is actually happening in this world. So you can repeat after me. Shri, you know what, before we do that, let's chant just a few prayers so I can get the blessings of our gurus. We can all get the blessings of them. And we can actually prime and prepare ourselves to receive knowledge. Because if we're not in the right state of mind and we don't have the proper reverence to receive knowledge, or we're not even approaching Bhagavad Gita, or we're not approaching the wisdom given by the lineage of gurus, or we don't have any respect for the Lord, then good advice might fall on deaf ears. So we want to mentally, internally prime ourselves. How can I get as much benefit from this as possible? So we want to humbly call to our gurus, please bless us with this mercy. I'm a confused person in this world. I don't have that much knowledge, and I need to know more knowledge. And I need to know what you want from me. If the conclusion is that there's a God and I should somehow please God, I have to know how. I don't know how. So they will tell us how, and the Krishna himself will tell us how in Bhagavad Gita. So maybe Madhav, you can come and share this. Please wipe your mouth. Your mouth's really leaking. So chant with me.
Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sujivam Sarvaitam Savadhutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Shra He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwami Sute Devi Kalamami Hari Priye Vanshakapratubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayane Nirvishesha Srimavadi Pasitari Satamani.
I'm also laughing because I gave this example before of kissing your sister. This is not a good example.
I think it's a good example.
What?
I think it's a good example.
Yes, but it's not probably such a
More
appropriate example. Yes, because it makes people very uncomfortable. I don't have any sisters, so I never have experienced that in this lifetime. But it's not it's not like a very yes, it's a strange example. Probably the punching someone at work is a better example. Yeah. So anyhow. Please forgive me on that one. Let's chant Sanskrit, the Bhagavad Gita. Sharirang yadavapnoti yachchapyutkramatishvaraha grahit vaitani sangyati vayorgandhani vashaya Sharirang yadavapnoti yachchapyutkramatishvaraha grahit vaitani sangyati vayorgandhani vashaya Sharirang yadavapnoti yachchapyutkramatishvaraha grahit vaitani sangyati vayorgandhang ivashaya. Okay, Shariram is a body, is our body. Yad means as much as. Avapnoti means gets. Yachchapi or yat means that which. Cha also. Utkrama, or let's see, cha also, and then it's saying, api. Api means virtually. Utkramati, he's giving up. Ishwaraha is the Lord of the body. We're all Ishwaras in our body. We have a body, but we control what the body does. When the soul leaves the body just lays limp, and you can't do anything. No, whatever modern scientific thing, you can't bring a soul back to the body unless you can facilitate so the soul can go back into the body. But once the soul leaves the body, that's it. There's no scientific way you can bring it back unless a miracle happens. So, the Ishwara here is referring to the one who's controlling the body, the controller of the body. So, grihitva, taking. Etani, all these, sangyati, goes away. Vayu, air. Vayu is air. Gandhan is smell. Eva, like. Ashayat, from the flower. So, from its source. So, the living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. So what's happening is that you're moving from body to body as the air is pushing you, and the air is the influences of this world. So you go in this world wherever your mind kind of dictates you to go. And whatever your mind is a product of all of the influences around you, the energetic influences around you. So let's say you hang out with people who like to do drugs. Eventually you will probably do drugs, because we're a product of our environment. Nobody wants to necessarily be like their parents, but when you get older, you start to be like your parents. It's like crazy, actually. That you develop the habits. Oh my God, I'm doing the same thing that my parents have done. Why? Because this was our environment, and we learned so much when we're in his age. We don't remember, but he's absorbing so much. So in this world, we're absorbing so much, and wherever the air of the energies of this world pull us, we go there. But that is not ultimately our situation. But if by good fortune we can get a good burst of air that can carry us to a really nice place, which is what Bhagavad Gita is recommending we do, then we don't have to get carried around in this material world again anymore, suffering. So unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is not a good place to be long term. Nobody is happy here long term. When you're young, it's easy to be like, well, the world is great, everything's so wonderful. Just try getting old, and then you'll probably the tune will change, and you can still appreciate the world. There's many things to appreciate here, but it's not ultimately a place of all kinds of happiness. Unfortunately, I wish I could tell you otherwise. But actually there's a purpose for it. So anyway, let's see what the purport here is saying. Prabhupada is saying, here the living entity is described as Ishwara, the controller of his own body. If he likes, he can change his body to a higher grade, and if he likes, he can move it to a lower class. Minute independence is there. The change his body undergoes depends upon him. At the time of death, the consciousness he has created will carry him onto the next type of body. If he has made his consciousness like that of a cat or a dog, he is sure to change to a cat's or a dog's body. And if he has fixed his consciousness on godly qualities, he will change into the form of a demigod. And if he is in Krishna consciousness, he will be transferred to Krishna Loka in the spiritual world and will associate with Krishna. It is a false claim that after the annihilation of this body, everything is finished. The individual soul is transmigrating from one body to another, and his present body and present activities are the background of his next body. One gets a different body according to karma, and he has to quit this body in due course. It is stated here that the subtle body, which carries the conception of the next body, develops another body in the next life. This process of transmigrating from one body to another and struggling while in the body is called karshati, or struggle for existence. We just on Sunday we did a verse that came before this one. Mamai vangsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana mana shashtan indriyani prakriti stani karshati. That actually all the living souls are parts of Krishna, certainly his parts, and they're all eternal. But struggling with the six senses, the mind and the senses, we're stuck in this material world suffering. And Prabhupada actually is saying, why are we here? This verse is saying that we go from body to body depending on, Krishna makes a poetic analogy, just as the air is carrying the aromas of flowers. But ultimately, we're carried by our consciousness. So the air of our consciousness. So if you develop a liking, for sports, you're going to hang out around very sporty people. If you develop a liking for business, you're going to be in very business-like environments like this. But if you develop a liking or a consciousness focusing on godly qualities, then you can have an upgrade. You can have a demigod body and things like this. And if you develop a liking ultimately for the Supreme Lord, then you can actually be with the Supreme Lord. So this is dictating where we go in life. Even in this life, it depends on our mentality. It depends on who we identify as a person. I myself always desired to be in family life. Since I was a little boy, I always wanted to be in family life. And so Krishna actually fulfilled my desire, and now I get to do fatherly activities. Because that's actually always what I saw, and that's always what I wanted. And so now I'm doing that in this life. But also, some imprints in my life were given when I was a little boy. I was taught to be religious in my Catholic church. And this, I wasn't able to appreciate it at the time. But as I grew older and I realized how difficult the sufferings were in my life, I realized, wow, there's actually a great need. There's a great relief that comes from spiritual practice. You can't fix all the problems on your own. Have you ever tried all of life's problems? Have you ever said, oh, I'll just solve this with all of my own strength of my intellect? It doesn't work. There's still probably many problems you have in your life you don't know how to fix. Does anyone have some problems in their life they don't know how to fix? Yes. So actually, we don't have the capability to figure out everything on our own because we're actually in a state of ignorance. And the only one who's in full knowledge, in this material world at least, is God and God's pure representatives, the saints, the people that God empowers personally. They're the ones in full knowledge. So we have to ultimately, we have to hope that we can have the mercy of God. If we don't get God's mercy in our life, we'll never have any solution to our problems. You've had, when you were even that age, there's all kinds of problems. You might get, one problem he gets is he gets very tired and he doesn't know what to do about it. And he needs his mom to help nurse him to sleep. And he'll cry and scream. And then when you're in grade school, you have other problems. And you're trying to always figure out these problems. And, there's more silly problems at the time. Oh, I want to make sure I play my video games, or I want to make sure I'm playing cricket with my friends, and things like this. And how can I arrange? So over your whole life, you're always trying to solve problems. But actually, they're always there, and they always get more and more complicated. The more and more. Now I have so many new problems I never thought I had. Now my son is crawling around everywhere, and he wants to stick his hand in outlets, and he wants to chew on everything. And now we're like, oh my God, how am I going to watch him? And they're just going to keep mounting up more and more problems. The snow just came, and the plow just plowed in my driveway. But I have to go get these nice people to the program. Oh, I have the big problem. I have to, go out and shovel and, shovel some feet of snow. What's that? Yeah. How will he get proper education in this world? How will he get... So there's so many problems that we're trying to solve. But actually, only God can solve all of our problems. So, because it's New Year's Eve, we have this new year, new you. I'm saying it's the same you. You've been traveling body to body, lifetime after lifetime. And all you're finding are problems and problems and problems. And all you'll find in the future, if you keep doing like this, are more problems and more problems and more problems. But if you want a solution to life's problems, you have to approach the one who is meant to solve all solutions. And that one is God. If you don't develop a practice in your life in approaching God, you can never solve all the problems. We think, oh, I'll solve my problems, I'll do this strategy. But you're not seeing all the problems that are not in your vision. Then actually many times you're creating new problems. I'll give you an example. I had a problem this year. I needed a little bit more money because I had a project I wanted to work on. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'll put some money in this place, and I think that this investment will grow the money, and I'll solve my problem that I have in lack of money. And do you know what happened instead? The investment went right down, and instead of having more money to solve my problems, I had less money than I did before, and now I have so much more problems. So this is the nature of this world. We think, oh, I'm going to solve the problem here. We're not seeing mountains of problems that we're actually creating. As we don't know, we're not in knowledge. So, my humble request to you is to understand that you are a spirit soul and that you have spiritual activities that... See, one problem there is my son almost got a concussion, but luckily Krishna protected him with this. Are you okay? Yes. Now he's having all kinds of new problems where he wants his mom. So hopefully if his mom is listening online, she will come up and help him solve his problems. So anyway, I'll kind of leave it to you guys to ask some questions. What do you think we should do about this problem? How do you think we can have, for this new year, how do you think we can have a really good new year and tackle some of these problems that we're having in our life? How do you think? And let's see if we can also, let's see if it's not just an I think, and let's see if we can have some evidence where in this scripture it says like this, or we can see by this practical study, if you do this, you can solve that problem, and we can share some evidence, or it's called pramana. So our reasoning should have pramana behind it. We shouldn't do things just because we think, because a lot of times we think things and it's completely wrong.
No, there is you feel like, oh, I should remain calm at every situation.
Yes.
But generally, I'm not able to do that because then you have to think about what to do next and
Yes.
frustrated or
So I know a solution to that problem. So you would like to have peace. Is this what you're saying?
Like, I know that remaining calm will create better situation and
Sure.
thinking, but when you are actually facing the problem, you suddenly don't really feel calm.
Yes,
You
yes.
feel agitated.
Yes. So,
Like for example, suddenly if I don't have money, I know becoming agitated will not work. But then when you don't have money, you actually feel, how to.
yes. So, what is your proposal? How to solve this problem?
Remaining calm actually helps to think better.
Yes.
But
But you're saying because of your attachments and the situation, it's difficult for you to remain calm. So, what is the solution, you think? Okay.
I mean, I think it's a skill issue or something.
So I know a solution in the Bhagavad Gita actually. There's a formula for peace. So we'll share it. And maybe you can use this to help you remain calm. Chant with me. Bhoktarang yagya tapasang Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridang Sarvabhutanang Gyatva Mang Shanti Mrichati Bhoktarang Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mang Shanti Mrichati. Okay. So, Bhoktaram means he's the beneficiary, yagya of sacrifices, tapasang, and penances and austerities. Sarva loka maheshwaram. Sarva means all. Loka means planets. Maheshwaram means he's the great controller. Suhridang means a benefactor. The one who is ultimately benefiting. Sarva, all. Bhutanang is of all the living entities. So all the things the living entities are doing, the only one really totally being benefited on every step is God. Gyatva, thus knowing, mang, this of me, Krishna speaking, shantim, you can be shanti, you can be peaceful, you can be calm, richati, and you achieve this peace, you'll achieve this calm. So if you know, so the translation is, the sages knowing me is the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. So, to be calm or to be peaceful, it means you're relieved of misery. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're happy. It just means you're relieved of misery. So this is the strategy to be. Who here is experiencing some misery in their life? Who wants to be relieved from misery? Yes? So this is the way that Krishna recommends. If you know that ultimately everything is happening due to Krishna's plan. If you know Krishna has a plan here and everything's working out due to Krishna's plan, then you can be automatically you can be at peace. Like, let's just say you lost some money, or let's just say you got in a fight with someone, a friendship isn't working out right, a relationship isn't working out right, this isn't working out how you want. At the end of the day, if you know that Krishna never does anything that isn't what's ultimately good for him in his plan, and ultimately as your well-wisher. Did it ever happen to you? I'll give you an example. When I was a young boy, I had a crush on Miley Cyrus. I thought Miley Cyrus was so beautiful and so nice.
I actually thought she was really pretty.
Yeah. I thought Miley Cyrus was just the what do you call
Montana, singer.
Anyway, she's like a Disney star actress, like a Bollywood, or let's just say like a Bollywood actor. What's her name? Priyanka Chopra. Everyone likes. Yes, everyone thinks she's very pretty. Avani's like, no. No. The men say yes. But Avani's so anyway, I had this very big crush on Miley Cyrus, and I thought, she's so pretty, I want a wife like that, or maybe I should have a wife like this one day. And now I see many, many years in the future, Krishna didn't let my plans work. I said, if I pray hard enough, maybe I can have Miley Cyrus as my wife, something like this. But it didn't work out. But now I look back and I think, wow, thank goodness that Miley Cyrus is not my wife. She's crazy. You look what she does in the news. She's like a lunatic, and and she's getting more and more frightening by the year. And so
she's so famous and so rich that you would never be in her scope anyway.
Yeah. So just for many reasons it didn't work out. So, but anyhow, but I look back at my life and I think, thank God I didn't marry Miley Cyrus. Because even though that's what I wanted and it didn't work out, but the Lord had a much better plan for me. My wife is much better for me than Miley Cyrus is for me. So that's that's the Lord's plan. But in the time I could not see Miley Cyrus. So anyway, we have many, many times, but as life goes and moves in certain ways, we have to accept the results. But we should always accept that, the Lord is my well-wisher and He's the benefactor. Everything's happening because of Him, and then we could be peaceful. We don't have to be miserable with what's happening. All of our miseries that are happening are actually due to our ignorance and not trusting the Lord, actually. So, if we know ultimately that everything is being done and should be done for the Lord already, and that he is the supreme Lord of everything, and he's everyone's well-wisher, you will automatically attain peace. If you actually always know that. But the problem is, we forget that. We say, oh yes, that's good. And even right now, we can talk about some miserable situation in our lives and be like, yes. You know what? Like even today, I was telling you guys, I was having some struggle with some money, some finances this past year. There's been lots. But even today, something quite wonderful happened where, two people in the morning, I did not know how I was going to pay certain bills for this month. I was getting a little concerned. And that usually I'm much more responsible with the finances typically in my life than what's happening right now. So I was kind of getting nervous. But out of, you know what? I trust the Lord. He will arrange everything. No problem. I'll just carry on. This is my job in life. And ultimately, two people reached out that I was not expecting at all. And whatever problems I was thinking were not there actually. And he helped solve the problem. So similarly, if we choose the Lord as our well-wisher and maintainer, if we trust that, because he already is actually. We talked about on Sunday for Christmas, the teachings of Jesus. And Jesus, he's very famous for one thing he shares with his disciples. He says, look at the birds. Who here has seen a bird before? You've seen a bird? Avani, you've never seen a bird? Really? Oh, okay, I was going to say. Anyway, he says, look at the birds. They don't work, they don't toil, they don't sow anything in the ground, they don't reap, because most people were farmers back then. They don't make any endeavors for, all kinds of things that we do. But do they not have enough food? Does the Lord not provide for them? And says, do you think that he loves you less? What do you think? Do you think God loves you less than the birds? No. Sometimes it may feel like that. Why is God doing this to me? But actually, if we take a step back and you say, you know what? I trust God. I trust God's plan for me. I trust God's plan in all circumstances in life. You could be at peace. So this could be the new you for the new year. You can always trust God's plan for you. And you can have what's called this symptom of Goptritve Varanam Tatha. You're always choosing the Lord. He's your maintainer. He's your protector. And you trust Him. You trust Him completely. And then you could be at peace. You can all be at peace. And that's very nice. And then when you start to learn of what to do, but do you want to know the secret? How do you be happy? What's that? Yes. So, now I'm caught here. I'm exposed because I'm saying, well, you know what? Do I have a verse that... I know there is one verse how you could always be happy. But I'm forgetting it. So maybe I'll have to go to Krishna's conclusion in Bhagavad Gita. This is the most famous, not famous, but this is the most important verse of the whole Bhagavad Gita. And maybe we can look up here. We can read the few verses before it. So Krishna, he starts talking about, from here, one who becomes transcendently situated, that's completely spiritually situated, completely focused on God and everything. He at once realizes the Supreme Brahman. He realizes everything, what's going on. And he never laments nor desires to have anything, because he realizes everything is already perfect. He is equally disposed to every living entity, and in that state he attains pure devotional service to me. So the goal is we should try to be transcendentally situated, fully spiritually situated. And one can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. This is Bhakti Yoga. So only by activities of devotion to God in your life, then the only way you'll actually be able to understand God as he is. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So this is where real happiness is in the kingdom of God. And you can even experience this in this world. Kingdom of God, even Jesus says it's within you. You can actually experience internally the kingdom of God. But because we're so much looking for happiness over here, or maybe it's under here, or maybe it's over there, maybe it's on the movie theater, maybe it's at the playground, maybe it's in relationship, maybe it's in the kitchen, the real happiness actually is realizing God. And God is everywhere, including within yourself. So, though engaged in all kinds of activities, my devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. So this is the secret of devotional activities. You have to learn there's a secret. It's not that you just stop doing things. You say, all right, well, I shouldn't be so engaged in sinful activities. Maybe you have a tendency to drink a lot of alcohol. When you learn about spiritual life, you'll realize, you know what, actually drinking is not good for my spiritual life at all. Maybe I should stop. But now I don't know what to do. There's many, many, many things for you to do. There's many services that you can do for the Lord. There's many works you can do. Even today, there were many people outside shoveling today. I was watching the neighbor shovel, and he was so angry. He was so angry because the plow truck came and tore up his yard while he was plowing the thing, and he was so angry. He literally looked at me and growled. He's like, I can't believe it. And he just wanted to complain, and I just was like, all right, I gotta step back because I have to go. But we were all shoveling out there, me and everyone else. But I had the good fortune. I wanted to shovel because, one, I wanted to take care of our driveway, but two, my main thing is I had to go pick up you two, and I promised you I would pick them up, and I knew it was my devotional service that I gave my word to these two people who want to come and participate in activities with the Lord, that I have to be there for them. So I actually was able to shovel with great joy, and my neighbor, he had to shovel with great anger because he was very attached to how his yard he thought was supposed to look. And then even Krishna blessed me he sent Madhav back when I was getting a little overwhelmed, and Madhav came back and he brought better shovels and he helped me finish, and we finished much quicker and much better, more effective. So anyhow, but everyone was doing the same activity. I was shoveling, they were shoveling, but my shoveling was a bit more blissful than most people's shoveling. Why? Because I'm engaging in devotional service, and I can feel happier doing that. So if you learn the art of doing devotional activities, you can also always, even though you're doing the same, even though this person's at work and you're at work, but because you know the science of devotion to God, and you know how to work in devotion, you can be happy and they won't. And not to say that I get to be better than you. No, you should help them, But you'll be better situated, actually, in life. So though engaged in all kinds of activities, my devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all obstacles of conditional life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So, this is very important. If we can work always in consciousness of the Lord and what He wants, we'll pass over all obstacles of this world, all sufferings of this world. But if we do not work in such consciousness and act through false ego, not hearing Him, we'll be lost. We're all experiencing that to some degree. Does anyone feel a little lost? Confused about your duty? I don't know what to do in life. Yes. That's how the Bhagavad Gita started. Arjuna, he did just that. He said, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava. And then he said, Prichchami tvang dharma samudha chetaha. Stella, Hare Krishna, Happy New Year. And Merry Christmas. It's been so long, maybe a month almost. Not quite, but almost. We're studying Bhagavad Gita. We're always studying Bhagavad Gita. Just to fill it in, we're discovering the secret, how we can pass over all of the obstacles that we have in this world. Are you in? Does that sound good? You have any obstacles to your desires in this world?
Maybe.
Yes, everyone does. Okay. Do you want to be? Do you have any New Year's goals?
Maybe to be more understanding with Mara and not fight with him so much.
Yes. That's a very difficult thing for a married couple to do. Yes, me and my wife also. We are always trying to do. It's very difficult, actually. But you can actually, that and every other obstacle you have in life that is being formed, by the grace of the Lord, you'll easily pass over these things. But this verse saying, if however you do not work in such consciousness, meaning the activities you do are not ultimately in devotion to the Lord, and you act through false ego instead, because that's what happens. We act through, all right, well, I'll figure it out. Not hearing the Lord, you'll be lost. And that's what we're currently experiencing. We're lost. And we don't know how to act, and we get bad results in life, and we don't know why. But it's ultimately because we don't know how to work, and we're not interested in even knowing how to work. We just want to go chase that thing over there, and then we're lost, So this is what Krishna is saying. And he says, and if you do not act according to my direction, and he's speaking to a warrior here, and he says, and do not fight. For us, we have to figure out what is our spiritual duty. Arjuna's a warrior, and Krishna teaches him as a warrior how to do his duty in devotion. But some of us are singers. Some of us are intellects. Some of us are hard workers in this world. Krishna, through the mercy of spiritually elevated personalities and even the scriptures himself, he can teach us all how to work, and so that we can ultimately, one, be happy, and then ultimately, by this devotion to God, not only will we be happy, but actually everyone will benefit. All beings will benefit by this work. So we're trying to learn how to do such work. But you will be falsely directed if you don't act according to his direction. And by your nature, you'll be engaged in these activities anyway. You'll do all kinds of things anyway. He's saying you're a warrior. You're going to be engaged in warfare anyway. Might as well take this, because it's my suggestion to you. It's my recommendation, and fight. And it's not just this. Also in all the scriptures it said that he was to fight. This is a righteous, good cause to fight for. So he's saying, under illusion, you're now declining to act according to my direction. This is all our problem. Somebody has told you, if nobody has told you all year, on the last day of the year, I'm telling you, you should act under the Lord's direction. If you choose not to, this is what will happen. But compelled by your own nature, you'll be lost. And said in the but he said, but compelled by your own nature, you will act all the same. Meaning, you're still going to act. But now, if you don't have the Lord's blessings and direction, your actions will cause all kinds of the same problems you're already experiencing. So if you want to get over your problems, this is the secret. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. So we talked about we're like in a car. Our body's like a car. And actually, who's directing us to do everything? Do you know who's actually sparking all the ideas? Do you think we're some brilliant personalities that are getting all kinds of brilliant ideas, inspirations out of nowhere? No, actually, it's God within the heart. He sees what one desires, and he will impel you. Okay, do you really want to try this? Okay, fine. But if we learn what he actually wants from us, which is what are in the scriptures, and then we learn about the Lord and what he actually wants from all of us, then we can know the right way. But right now we're in this car and we're driving this machine and we're going all kinds of different places. He says, O scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. So if in your heart you can find that connection unto the Lord, you should surrender unto him. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, well, you say, well, I have no idea what to do. Okay, I'm in. You might say, is everyone in? Do you want to work under the direction of the Lord? Yes, you're all convinced? That was easy. Gaurav's first time here and he's convinced. So, good. No, it's good. Avani, you're convinced? Yes, you're in? Okay. You convinced? Yeah. So here's the secret. Krishna says, Tasmach chastram pramanam te karya vyavastito gyatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartumi harhasi. Thank you, Madam. So he's saying, therefore, shastra, or the scriptures, pramanam te, are your evidence. The scriptures will guide you on how to properly act. If you study the scriptures, you'll know exactly what to do. You'll see how Arjuna, you'll see how the great devotees acted in previous times, and you'll know how to act. So if you study the scriptures, you'll know what to do. And then he's saying, karya vivastito. So karya is good activities. Akarya means bad activities. Vyavastito, determining. But right now we don't know what's good and what's bad. We don't know what's up and what's down and what's left and what's right. Like before, I told you I was going to try to make some investment this year and I thought it was good, and it turned out to be very bad. And so, oh my gosh, okay, I should figure out what should we do? How should we determine? It's saying Gyatva Shastra Vidhanoktam. We should know Gyatva Shastra. We should know the scripture, Vidha, and all of its types of rules and regulations. And then if we know that, karma kartum iharhasi. Then the actions, the karma, kartum, to do, iha, in this world, arhasi. That should be done, we can do that. But if we don't know Shastra, if we don't listen to the devotees, if we don't listen to the saints who are trying to share the messages of God, and we try to act independently, like it said in that previous verse, we'll be lost, and then we'll keep creating more problems. So we're trying to help people, please, for your benefit. We gain nothing out of this. We don't ask any money. We actually spend even a little money. We're saying, here, we'll cook for you, we'll do everything. But please come and do devotional activities with us, and you'll actually, for your happiness. This is in your benefit. I will benefit all the same. Whether Gaurav ever comes back again, I'll be sad if Gaurav never comes back for Gaurav. But I will never, I won't be sad for me, because I can just carry on as I'm carrying on. I'll be sad if I go another month before seeing all you guys again, because I haven't seen you guys in like a month. It was partially my fault. I left for 3 weeks, so that's my fault actually. But if you guys don't come back, it's not that I can't. Oh my gosh, what will I do? There are only a few. That's even now fewer people on a Wednesday night. But this is. I know what can make me happy at this point, and I can just carry on doing. Whether you guys want to join me or join us, it will make me very happy, the more people that join. But if you go away and try to act on your own strength, Krishna says you'll be lost. I agree with Krishna. I've seen it in my life. When I don't act under the direction of the Lord, I'm lost, and the next thing I know, I have all kinds of problems. So this is the solution to all problems, is at your feet right now. So take this. It's really, really going to help you. It'll require some practice, but guess what? You have people here who can show you how to do it. You have people here who have some experience. That's why we can only teach things that we're capable of teaching. But we've been practicing now, at least me personally, I've been practicing for like a decade now. And I have wonderful teachers. Many of them are on the altar, and we study their books, and they tell you so many things. And then ultimately, they're all the Vedic Shastras, meaning these are all the revelations that God is personally sharing with us. And so you can study these things. So anyhow, let me just finish this and get to that main verse. Thus I have explained to you the most confidential of all knowledge. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do. So Krishna will give you all the confidential knowledge, and he'll tell you how to be happy, how to get rid of all your miseries. But then he's like, but do whatever you want. I'm not attached to this. If you want to go, like if Gaurav never comes back, I'll be sad. Oh, rats, But I'll carry on and I'll be happy. I can carry on and be happy. So similarly, God, he says, all right, I'll tell you everything that you need to know. It's perfect. You'll be happy. It'll be perfect. But if you choose, no, but I really want to do this anyway. He says, all right, you'll go, you'll suffer. He already told you what you get. When you act on your own, you're lost and you suffer. But when you find out what God wants and you act accordingly, not only will you be happy, but all others you interact with will be ultimately satisfied. Even though they might not even see it at the time. I'll give you an example. My family members, they were not so happy that I was practicing this in the beginning. They were not so happy. They were saying, what do you mean? My mom specifically told me, you're trying to be a monk? You'll never get married. That was her first concern. You'll never get married. You'll never have a house. You'll never have children. All these things. But then I carried on. I said, Mom, I was a little rebellious. I wasn't going to listen to my mom. And I wanted to be a monk anyway. And now guess what? Of all of her children, I'm the only one who's married. I'm the only one who has a house. I'm the only one who has a child. And now when, I know her and I know my family members, when I associate with her, I can tell that me, my wife, and my son give her the most joy of all my other relatives right now. Just due to, she doesn't realize why, but because there's some devotion in our lives, and it actually naturally brings joy to all others. Even if they don't. My mom was totally against this idea of being a monk and all these things. Now, you guys don't have to be monks. I'm not telling you to be a monk. But what I am telling you is you can do the same, you can do activities in this world, but you can spiritualize them. You can make them devotional. We'll be happy to teach you how to do that. But it requires you not being so arrogant, thinking that, no, I know. Because everyone thinks they know. This is called ahankara, a false ego. But it's caused you suffering in the past. All your own suffering that you're suffering currently is your fault. Isn't that nice? No. But it's actually nice. It may seem mean. Oh, how could you tell me that? But actually, karma works in such a way that it comes exactly as it needs to and deserving of what we've done in the past. That's karma. And guess what? We're creating new karma every day. And all of our new reactions that we'll get in the future are due to what we're currently doing, and also things many years in the past, we still have to pay for that. Like when I was small, I would get in fights with some people. And maybe some years down the line, I see that person again, and he has something mean to say about me because I treated him so nastily in my previous life. That's due to my past actions. But if I continue being mean to him because he's mean to me, then we can create new actions, and who knows, maybe in the future we can get in a fight. Doesn't that sound nice? No, but this is how karma works. But everything is happening due to what you've done previously. But now let's pump the brakes. Instead of acting independently and getting more karma and creating more karma, Let's do what the Lord recommends, and we'll get a good result. So he says, do whatever you want, but I'll tell you what you should do. Here's confidential knowledge. Here's Bhagavad Gita. Here's everything. I'll tell you everything. No problem. I don't need to hide it from you. You want to look? I'll tell you. He says, because you're my dear, very dear friend, I'm speaking to you the most confidential part of knowledge. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. So now, because you're even being able to hear this, the Lord considers you his friend. You've done something in your life where now the Lord is considering you a friend. You know, whether it's some service, maybe I handed you some flour during the worship and you let others smell it and you please the Lord by doing that, like Avani, or, you know, Satvik, or anyone, you know. So here is the main instruction. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru ami vaishyasi satyang te pratijane priyosime. He says, always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you're my very dear friend. So this is the most important instruction. If you can learn how to always think of the Lord, we have to learn about the Lord. How do you come and learn about the Lord? You have to associate with people who know about the Lord. That's the only way. You can read books too, that will help because they will help, you know. You understand, but unless you come and personally experience, like for instance, who do you think is going to... Avani, what do you study in your PhD?
School psychology.
School psychology. So why do you go to a PhD program? Why don't you just read all the psychology books? Why did you pay all this money?
Oh, I didn't pay money.
Why does...
They paid me.
Okay. Why did you put all the effort into getting scholarships and all these things? Why didn't you just get a few psychology books?
Because I need the credential.
Oh, the credential. You know, there's nothing valuable any professor is giving you?
They teach me well.
Yeah, the professors teach you, right?
Mhm.
It's much more valuable to see in person how to do all of these things, your professors, rather than just looking at a book alone. Correct? Yes, that makes sense? We like teachers? Teachers are good? Yes. So similarly, if you want to always think of the Lord and become his devotee, worship him, offer your homage unto him, and go to him, you're also going to have to find teachers who are capable of doing that, who can help you. So this is ultimately what the devotee, what we're aiming for, what our goal should be. And he says, abandon all varieties of religion. Sarva dharman prityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha shami mashuchaha. Second most important instruction. Abandon all varieties of religion or all duties you have in this world and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So it doesn't mean, okay, Gaurav, you work at the gas station? Yes, where Madhav met you? Which gas station?
The 2900 East Street.
Where is it?
Just like 2 minutes down there, that blue one right before Nottingham.
The blue one right before Nottingham.
Right before the Dollar General. Like if you
Oh, but that's the one I always go to. I go to your gas station all the time. You know. So very nice. So he's not saying, you know, stop going to work. But now you should hopefully have some desire arise that, you know what, how can I use my work in devotion? How can I use my work in devotion? How can I use my work to really better my life? You know, because at work, what do you get at work? What are you guys working so hard in school for?
Knowledge.
And then the knowledge will give you what? And the expertise will give you what?
Wisdom?
Yes, you're just doing all of this for wisdom and you'll be satisfied. So you just get your degree and then don't do anything else and just enjoy the wisdom you have.
A job.
Yes, you're working for a job. And then the job gives you what? What do you get at a job, Stella?
Money.
Yes, you get money. And so then then what should you do with money? Get all the makeup that you need and want in this world. Maybe you can get a Ferrari. Who wants a Ferrari? Is this how we should use money? No, the Indians, they know. No, that's not a good idea to use money. That's too expensive, not a good investment. Money, also, everything should be used in devotion. And everything can be used in devotion. Like, I had to go work and shovel. But I got to go shovel along with everyone else today to go do some devotional activities. And I feel good about it. I feel happy. I went and picked up devotees, and we have some program. But, other people might see shoveling as a burden. Oh, I hate the snow. I hate this. I hate Syracuse. It's so annoying. Did you have to shovel out your car today, Stella?
Oh, we have a plow. So
Okay. But not even like the little part of your car? You didn't have to shovel it?
my car's in the garage.
Okay. Whose car do you have today?
Huh?
Whose car do you have? Oh, you have a garage.
Yes.
So you avoid all these
Yeah.
things. That's very nice. But some people aren't so fortunate. I actually also have a garage, but my garage got turned into some weird thing that doesn't work anymore. So, anyhow, what can be done? But anyway, if you can learn to surrender to the Lord, you'll have nothing to fear. You'll never have anything to fear. Even if, like when my mom was telling me, why do you want to do this? Go back to school, get a job, do this, do what everyone else is doing. But I said, no, I don't want to do this. I really, I'm inspired to, really do something for the Lord right now in my life. Even though it's sinful. Normally it says you should always honor your mother and father. You should respect your parents. You should do what your parents want you to do. You've heard this before?
Yeah. I've been in
Yeah.
situation.
In Indians especially do it. It's wild. I look at a lot of the young Indians. I'm like, wow, you guys are really devoted to your parents. A lot of you. I'm always so impressed. In the West, not so much. We're actually on the other spectrum. We're too disrespectful to our parents. But even though it's considered sinful to disrespect your parents, it's considered sinful. But because in that circumstance in my life, I had to abandon her duty for me, or her religion that she's giving me. Go to school, do this, get a degree, do like that. I'm not telling you all. This was just my own personal journey. You can go to school, you can get a degree, you can do all these things. It's good. But for my own personal journey at that time, it wasn't going to be good for me, because I wanted to really learn how to surrender to the Lord more. And guess what? All the things that that my mom was fearful of me not going to the school came. The wife came, the house came, some money and even some income. We rent rooms out of the, thing. We're doing terrible right now because of the winter. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. But even all, basic survival things, even more so than many people who they checked all the boxes, they did go to school, they did get the credentials, they did all these things. I'm not sure. I know, also, I see my peers and companions that they're struggling. It's because that's just what happens. If you don't serve the Lord, you struggle. That's just the result you get. If you serve the Lord, everything will go, you can always be peaceful, and then you can actually even always be blissful. That sounds nice. But at the very least, you could be peaceful. But it's impossible to be peaceful. Like you're saying, I try to always be calm. But it's like saying, let's say you have developed cancer. No one wants cancer. All these memes on F cancer sucks, like this. But what people don't realize is that cancer is not coming out of nowhere. It's not just like you went outside and you went in the wrong place and you breathed in cancer and now you have cancer. Cancer, it grows over time, and it's a very aggressive compounding disease that takes years to form. So there's years of things that have been built up that cause the cancer. Like for instance, you have lung cancer. But if you're smoking cigarettes for 10, 12 years, why should you be surprised you have lung cancer, right? Now there's ones less, obvious to spot. Oh, what happened to my colon? What, my pancreas? Why are these things here? But a lot of these things can be solved with proper diet and proper lifestyle and all these things. So anyway, what was my train of thought? Why was I getting into cancer? Does anyone know? What was I saying right before cancer?
Serving what Lord wants.
So I think what my point was is that
The karmic reaction. It's always a result of what you do.
Yes, okay. So I think my point was, but if you spend your time doing all kinds of devotional activities in your life, you will get great results. Even if you don't know how. It's like, for instance, I don't have a normal job. It's news to most of you. I don't have a normal job. My job is primarily to make sure that a community comes here and we all worship the Lord. And somehow or other, by that, people come and we support whatever Airbnb people come, and we can pay the bills, and we make it by that way. But out of just years, personally, I'll speak today. Today, I was telling you we were short on bills this month. And I was like, wow, I really don't know. I was looking, I'm like, there's $800. I have no idea how we're going to pay bills this month. And just this morning, after doing like a nice fast, devotional fast yesterday and everything, this morning, two different devotees that I have years of relationship with, each sent some portion of money to cover those bills. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't even believe. Not only $1,100 came. Instead of, being worried, oh my gosh, where will this $800 come from? And then on top of that, we've been slow. We've had no people here practically all month. We've been really the bank is really doing bad. And then all of a sudden a bunch of guests came for the Airbnb. And so some little boost of money came in that way. Now I'm not saying money is the honey that you want in life. But what I am saying is that the Lord, He provides. If you do devotional activities, you'll never go empty. And I feel fortunate and grateful that, somehow in my life, by me doing devotional activities, if I really need something, like we really needed this $800 to come through, and I only had like 4 or 5 days to figure it out, or I'm going to start missing payments and have problems. But somehow the Lord knew that and inspired 2 devotees to help. And without me, I didn't say one thing to anybody. I didn't reach out, hey, can you help us? A little too much pride to do that. I don't want to do that. But still, He knew, okay, it will help. It'll come. So He'll know in your life too what you'll need. He'll send the right circumstance at the right time, but you just have to somehow realize the benefit in devoting your life to God. If you somehow realize that benefit, you will only be happy. I never knew how much happiness a child would bring. But if I was very materially attached, what I didn't count on was how much work raising a child is. So much work. It's crazy amounts of work. But if I was very attached to all of the material things that He doesn't let me do anymore, because me and my wife, especially my wife, there's so many of our own desires that we can't fulfill now because we have to take care of Him. But by taking care of Him and just seeing Him smile, it brings a parent so much joy. You can't even imagine until you experience it yourself. And hearing Him cry brings so much, tension and pain. But the mother will do anything to make her baby happy again. So anyway, you can it may seem bitter in the beginning. I don't want to do all these things. I don't want to worship. How is this going to help me? I'm wasting time. I could be working towards my goals and my endeavors. I could be doing this, that, and this. You will get there so much less quickly. If you just took the time and devoted your time to the Lord, He fulfills all desires. It will come easily. Today, $1,100. If I had to go out and work for that $1,100 with my credentials, I'm a college dropout. How long do you think it would take me to work for $1,100?
Almost
Like
2
in
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks about. Take me 2 weeks of hard work, 80 hours of work, minimum, to work for that $1,100. But because my work, I am working still. This is work, believe it or not, and managing the deities. But because of that work, somehow or other, it will come. But not on my timing. I can't control it. I'm like, all right, let me push the $1,100 button here, and it just dropped. No, it's like I have to be surrendered to God and like do what I need to do, and He will do it. This is how it works. Because if he started becoming a wish-on-demand genie, you wouldn't actually be able to appreciate God at all. You would just be like, oh, and then you would do many sinful things with all the things that God would give you. So yes, God is giving out. Let me go to the God ATM and pull out millions of dollars and let me get my Ferrari. And you know what? Let me just get some, drugs and, I don't need to be faithful to my wife. Let me hang out with a bunch of young girls who are attracted to all this money and things like this. And next thing you know, you're doing all kinds of debaucherous things. So the Lord doesn't work like that. But to those who devote themselves to Him, they'll have nothing to fear, like it says in this verse. And actually, they'll have everything. You'll have everything. So, Jesus says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all other things shall be added unto you. All things. So don't worry, you'll get everything. But you have to realize the necessity for God in your life. That there is a God. There is a God. Like, everything doesn't just work so perfectly due to random chaos. It's not all random chaos. There is your DNA and your digestive system and all of your things happening in your life. It's not all just some random chaos. I just smash food down my throat and it all just exactly what I want it to do, and it comes out exactly as I need it to, and my body works perfectly. There is a beautiful orchestrated system at play here that you're not conscious of, and it's just doing it all on its own. It's intelligent, actually. It's like intelligent machinery. More amazing than anything mankind can create. Why? Because there is a God. There's a divine intelligence. And He's revealed to us what He wants from us, what to do, how to best be happy. He cares about us. He's created us and He cares about us. He wants us to be happy. And He says, He'll say, I'll give you all of the confidential knowledge. What is that verse we read? A very important verse. He says this, if you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature he said the one before that. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all obstacles of the conditional life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you'll be lost. So He's giving you the way to get out of being lost, and He's giving you the way to pass over all the obstacles in this world. And to, ultimately be happy. But then He says, thus I have explained to you the most confidential of all knowledge. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do. So now I'm here, I'm telling you on Krishna's behalf. That's my job, to speak for Krishna. I'm saying, yes, do devotion to Krishna. Like, do devotion to God. Try to transform your life in a devotional way. It'll benefit you. Think on this fully and then do whatever you want. That's it. You can try, do whatever you want, but He's warned you what will happen. I've warned you now on His behalf. I didn't know any better. And now you want to know with great knowledge also comes great responsibility. Once you know something and you continue to act against that good knowledge, you'll suffer even more. Where, you know, they say ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
It's not really bliss, because you're in ignorance, you suffer. But then it's really, really a lot of suffering when then you know better and you still continue to act in ignorance. Then you'll suffer even way more. Like I've experienced, everyone's experienced in their life. When you know something is wrong, but you still just try to do it, and then you keep getting worse and worse reactions. You know. Anyhow, you'll all figure these things out, hopefully. Anyhow, we should stop. We have an arati to do. This is the last arati, or the last worship that we'll do for these deities in this construct of time that our Western, or you could say the people who rule society have placed us in this 2025 or 2026, all these things. And January 1st. The new year used to always be April.
Yeah.
Always. All traditions.
Yeah.
The church, everyone. But I don't know, recently they wanted to switch it. Yeah, it's some not so good influence. It makes no sense to put the new year when it is. The new year is April, where everything, comes alive again, spring, everything is beautiful. But anyhow, let us celebrate this new year with this new wave of devotion in your life. And hopefully you can benefit, and you can realize how much you'll benefit. Is that good? Any question? No? Gaurav, I'll see you again? Yeah. If you want.
It's not New Year project,
What?
No,
It's everyone is following this construct of 2025 and December 31st. Everyone is pretty much on board, but in all ancient traditions, they would never celebrate like this.
Yeah, even like in Europe, it was not like this.
No.
But July and August were added.
No, what do you say? What is Makara Sankranti or something? Is that the new year? In the Veda calendar, it's a certain,
Currently in
or maybe Akshaya Tritiya, I don't know.
No. Like during the spring, I guess in India, March and April are more like New Year.
Yeah, so there's every culture had a different new year, but now ours is,
It is generally between February and April.
yeah. So anyhow.
Because if you see, you cannot really differentiate between Wednesday, Thursday, New Year. It's all snow and all this.
Yeah. So anyhow.
Yeah, like the school year starts in August.
Yes. So why it all? But they've made the construct, and now we're just all fitting in the construct. No problem. So anyway, Happy New Year. We'll end with Arati, and then we'll have a nice feast. Madhav made some wonderful prasadam today, and thank you guys for coming. I'm really grateful that you'll even come to sit and listen. And I didn't intend to speak this long, but I actually, based off your questions and things, I was inspired to say something. I hope it was okay.
Yeah.
Everyone is feeling like you want to be more devotional.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll see you guys. If you guys want, we do devotional activities literally every day, and we're like saying, yes, please come every day. You can come if you want, and you can eat with us every day. We'll figure it out, no problem. It'll be wonderful. But if not every day, at least Wednesday and Sunday we have programs, so come those days, and it's good, and you'll hopefully learn a few more things. And we're here. We're happy to help you guys, because it's not easy to just not really know anything about devotional activities to just bring, all right, well, I'm going to make my whole life devotional. You have to learn, So we're happy to help, and we're happy to direct you to the books that you can learn and you can study also on your own. And then, coming and being with those practicing is the easiest way to, yes, you look like
Thursday? Or...
every Wednesday and every Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So this program and our Sunday program. You have been to both of them many times.
Yeah.
So you just come those times, definitely. But you used to come in the mornings. We do every morning as well, and so you can come any day. You can still come if you'd like. I won't pick you up that early because I have many things I have to do. But if you wanted to come early in the morning, even not so early in the morning, if you wanted to come at 8 o'clock, there's a program and food we can have. 8 o'clock is not that early. What do you think? Is it that early for you, 8 o'clock? 8 a.m.? Stella, 8 a.m. good for you? You're working on it. You're working on it. So no problem. Madhav, 8 a.m. good for you?
Well, a little late. I should get up for another one.
Yes. So we're working on these things. So anyhow, thank you guys. Let's do the arati and we'll end.